playing this mud deck here. Looks like a pretty normal mud deck. Chalices, Grim Monoliths, Trinispheres, Titans, Wormcoil Engines, Metalworkers. And he's playing against Thomas Smiley.
You see, he's got...
Ooh, it's
like a Bant deck.
Yeah.
With no Delver.
Wow, I'm happy to see no Delvers. I've had just about enough of that card this weekend.
All right, so, oh, there they are. You'll see Gregory on your left and Thomas on your right.
Yeah. Thomas's deck is a Noble Hierarch, Stoneforge Mystic, Knight of the Reliquary deck. Force of Wills, Daze, Brainstorm.
Jace,
yeah. A little heavier on the control aspects. Not really aggro.
So, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Yeah. No Green Sun Zenith for Thomas.
No.
Which means he has access to no Khazali Pride Mage, which is probably going to be pretty big here.
I mean, really, it looks almost just like a blue-white deck that has Noble Hierarch and Knight of the Reliquary in it.
Yeah, that's sort of weird.
Because those are the only green spells in his main deck. Is Noble Hierarch and Knight of the Reliquary.
Yeah.
He's got 4 tropical islands, and that's it.
Wow.
Those are his green. Oh, no, Savannah. There it is. Oh, and they are off to the races.
So Wasteland for Tom Smiley, countered by an Ancient Tomb and a Grim Monolith from Greg Giard. And he has a Metalworker if he wants it. We'll see what he does here.
Gregory's got a Sundering Titan in hand.
Wow.
Goes for the
Trinisphere. And if you're not familiar with Trinisphere, it's an artifact that says all spells cost at least 3.
Yeah. And Thomas says no.
Force of Will.
Force of Will. He says goodbye to Jace, but also says goodbye to that Trinisphere.
Right. Way more importantly, gets rid of that card. Force of Will would cost 3 mana and removing the blue card.
And Ancient Tomb goes away.
And Tom says go.
Let's see. And Greg plays Cavern of Souls, naming Construct. That is so awesome.
Yeah, believe it or not, both Metalworker and Koldath the Forge Master are both constructs.
And there he goes, Construct.
Yep.
And Metalworker. There he comes.
Can't counter it. We'll see if Thomas has his swords.
Yep.
There it is.
So Metalworker goes away.
Yep, Gregory back up to 19, but more importantly, Metalworker off the board.
Yeah. Thomas is still stuck on 1 land. There's his second one. Looks like he's got two Noble Hierarchs in hand, but he can't cast them, so I believe those are both Tundras.
Yeah, and it's one of the risks of splashing Noble Hierarch.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just don't draw it.
He's got 8 fetch lands that to help for that splash, but he's just not seeing it this game.
And that's a Lodestone Golem in Gregory's hand.
Yep.
I'm going to see if that one's a construct, too. It's probably just a Golem. Yeah, Golem, not a construct.
He's got a Darksteel Citadel.
Little does he know, Thomas has a Daze in hand. We'll see if he walks into it.
And Greg's counting out his mana, plays a Darksteel Citadel. And goes for the Lodestone Golem.
Yep, and I have to imagine Thomas will be dazing this.
I believe so.
Not sure what he's thinking
Yep.
about. There we go.
And there goes the Lodestone Golem.
And now Greg Giard back down to 2 mana.
And Thomas still doesn't have a lot of action, but, I mean, really neither does Gregory.
All right. And both players just playing Drago right now. There's a Greaves for Gregory.
I think that's a Spine of Ishsaw.
It is.
In Gregory's hand that he drew.
Lots of strange
and
one-ofs.
the Lightning Greaves got Spell Pierced.
Yep.
No, thank you.
So 3 Noble Hierarchs.
I think that's another Spell Pierce in his hand too, which is a really good card against Gregory.
Yeah, it is.
And Thomas draws a Knight. Drago.
Yep, Sundering Titan for Gregory. He's gonna have to discard.
I think that's 2 for him.
Yeah. Force of Will, Thomas Smiley. And
is that another Metalworker?
Yeah, both players just have nothing going here.
Wow.
Thomas doesn't draw a land.
Force.
He'll have to discard this turn. This is crazy.
Yep, discards a Hierarch.
And now Gregory sees what's up. He knows that Thomas is mana screwed.
And I don't think that Grim Monolith is going to resolve.
Yeah, especially if Thomas Smiley is discarding. I think That's going to get pierced.
Yep.
And Thomas Smiley draws Jace.
No
That's
lands.
not a
Wow.
land.
Both players.
Oh, man.
3 Metalworkers, 2 Sundering Titans.
A boat.
Looks like a Spine of Ishsaw. I think
duplicate.
a Forge Master. All these awesome spells, but no mana to cast them with.
This is like the artifact section of someone's trade binder. This isn't a deck. I have to imagine he'll be discarding something here. Probably Spine of Ishsaw. That one doesn't seem like it'll be hard cast anytime soon.
No, don't think so. Yep, and he goes for the Spine.
Yep, you won't have any.
Kind of gruesome.
Yeah, it is.
Goes for the Spine. Yep, discards the Spine and ships the turn. And there we go.
Green mana.
Savannah.
That is not good for Greg Giard.
And that is a Knight of the Reliquary.
With Force of Will backup. If Gregory just draws a land, though, he can start casting these Metalworkers.
He drew a Crucible, which he just doesn't quite have the mana for, which would be pretty good for him, but... Interesting.
Metalworker hits the bin.
And Thomas definitely takes control. Ooh, draws a Wasteland.
Wow.
Ouch. Ouch. And Hierarch comes down. And
you know, I'm looking up the creature types of a lot of the creatures in this deck. Both Sundering Titan and Lodestone Golem are both golems. Worm Coil Engine. Let's see what that is here. That's a worm, yep. Can't discount that.
Thomas is searching out for a Wasteland. Oh.
Wow.
Well, luckily
wait, hold. That's a Darksteel Citadel. That's not destroyed.
Yes, that is indestructible. It should not have.
We'll make sure that gets back there.
Yeah, okay.
So Thomas used a Wasteland on an indestructible land. Must not have been playing during the Terror of Ravager Affinity.
Ooh, there's a Mox Opal. One more artifact. Oh.
Oh man, Gregory Giard just cannot stick a threat here.
I think it's going to be extremely difficult for Greg to pull out here because, I mean, Thomas has 2 forces in hand. He's got a Jace. He's got a Knight of the Reliquary on the board now. It's looking really ugly for him.
Yeah, that Knight is going to grow really quickly.
Yep, there comes Jace. He's like, oh, hi.
Hello, friend.
And
Fate
Seal. That was a land.
Yep. Gregory Giard has to be happy about that, though. Oh, another
Crucible. Not doing it.
Wow, drawing both Crucibles, the Spine, the Duplicate. Greg Giard just having a really clunky draw this game.
Yeah. I mean, Thomas, too, having those 3 Wastelands, that was just really crippling. You know, even though one of them got used on a Darksteel Citadel.
Yeah. Just the one land is all he needs at this point.
And Thomas just laying out all his hand now. He's got the mana. He's got the game. He goes to Fate Seal again.
Yep, Jace just picking up another land to the bottom.
Ouch. And he gets in there with that Knight.
Yep, Thomas Smiley only has to buy a couple more turns.
Another Grim Monolith. Nope, not going to do it. Greg scoops him up with a really frustrating draw there. I mean, honestly, for both players, if Greg had drawn a land almost at any point before Thomas took over, he could have easily swung that game. But
yeah, definitely. He had so many powerful cards in hand. 3 Metalworkers.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
So, looking at the players' sideboards here, Greg Giard has Ensnaring Bridges, Tormod's Crypts, an extra Trinisphere, some Duplicates, some Phyrexian Revokers, Silent Arbiter Wormcoil Engine. So he really is mono brown.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Thomas has 4 Leyline of the Void, 2 Aethersworn Canonist, 1 Corrosive Grip, 2 Engineered Explosives, 3 Path to Exile, 1 Submerge, and 2 Blue Elemental Blasts. I think he's going to bring in those Aethersworn Canonists. What do you think? Oh, of course not.
No, he will be bringing in the Corrosive Grip, though.
Absolutely.
1 artifact destruction spell. Maybe the Engineereds. They're not really that good, though.
Yeah, I don't see him bringing in those. Definitely the Paths are going to come in.
Really, he just doesn't have a lot to sideboard here.
Yeah, it's about 4 cards. I mean,
Yeah.
Maybe the Submerge.
Maybe. If the hard cast Submerge,
Yeah,
that's tough.
no, I don't think so.
Really, though, his main deck is set up pretty well to beat Gregory. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 4 Swords of Plowshares, 2 Spell Pierce, 3 Days, 4 Force. I mean, those already are pretty
Right.
hard for Greg to fight through.
Awesome counter suite. He can probably trim maybe like a Batter Skull, maybe a Jite. I don't know which equipment he wants, but either way, his deck's going to be staying pretty much the
Yeah.
same.
Like, I would probably take out the Jite, the Batter Skull, maybe a Hierarch, or maybe 2 Hierarchs, honestly.
I don't know. It's really tough. It's like he doesn't want to side any cards out, but at the same time, he doesn't have
Yeah.
many cards to bring in, so he'll probably just do some shaving of numbers.
And
He might think Daze isn't very good against the Metalworker deck. I'm not sure.
I think it'd be pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too.
But what does Gregory have against this Bant control deck?
Well, he could side in Snaring Bridge, but at the same time, siding in that against a Jace deck is always pretty risky.
That's very risky.
I probably wouldn't do that. Tormod's Crypt doesn't really do anything.
No.
Maybe Phyrexian Revoker. He
Yeah.
can stop both Jace and Knight.
Stop Chase, stop Knight.
Stop Stoneforge, Jite, Batterskull, any of these. We'll probably see the Revokers, I think.
Yeah, I can see that.
In terms of what he's taking out, I don't know. He can probably take out some of the less strong artifacts, like Platinum Empyrean. That thing's not very good.
No, not versus a control deck.
Right.
Um,
Staff of Domination, maybe?
yeah, I could see him taking that out. Maybe even the duplicate?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It seems like Spinavish sort of serves that purpose, you know, of the duplicate. But either way, both players' decks staying pretty much the same
Yeah.
here.
So
Not many changes.
hopefully next game we'll see some lands and spells instead of just spells.
Right. Spells for both players.
So they're shuffling up.
Greg Giard, I would love to see him just come out of the gate strong here, see if Tom Smiley can stop him. It's just exciting to see a turn 3 Sundering Titan.
Yeah, very true.
Well, for me, you and the
Well-
audience, maybe not for Thomas Smiley.
I know. I remember when I was watching Todd play against the Mud player in the top 8. It was actually Columbus. I think I said Nash earlier. It was Columbus. I was at home. I was watching him, and game 3, he's like, "Yeah, Hypergenesis. I'll put my." I think it was a Progenitus in a play, and he's like, dude, artifacts, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Trump. That sounds like a nightmare
I think it was like
matchup.
2 worm coil engines,
Wow.
and I mean, it was just brutal. Like, I was just like, no, but I mean, that's a pretty good matchup for Mud.
Yeah.
I mean, I get to put all my awesome things into play for free.
Okay, Blightsteel Colossus.
Yeah.
You think you have a big monster? Boom.
So looks like they're going for the cuts and the present and drawing out their hands.
Yeah, here we go for game 2. Greg Giard on the play. Now, he would love a turn 1 Metalworker.
Yes.
We'll see if he can do it. And you know, one of the downsides of this deck, you can't really make out many of the cards in his hand because they all look the same.
Well, let's see. It's got I think that's a Wasteland and a Chalice and a Steel Hellkite and a Forge Master.
2 Chalices, maybe.
2? Yep.
Thinking about shipping it back, it doesn't really seem that strong.
No.
Now, if that Chalice was a turn 1 Chalice, I think he'd keep in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But the problem is it's not until turn 2.
Yeah, he's going to ship it back.
Yeah, I think that's the right play.
And
Thomas?
I think Thomas is going to be keeping his as well.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Or- no, I guess Thomas is sending his back too.
Oh, okay. So a
Okay.
little delayed mulligan, had suspend 1 there.
Yep, they're both got confirmed. They're both going to mulligan.
Now, if you're just joining us, I'm Zach Hall in the booth with Callie Anderson here. And we're coming to you live from round 7 of Star City Games Open Worcester.
Worcester, Mass.
Worcester.
Worcester. I can't. I'm from the South. I hate the fact that I'm butchering this fine city's name, but I'm from the South. It's Worcester.
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 There we go.
Rooster.
All you have to do is add an AH to the end of any word, and
Worcester.
perfect.
Worcester.
Yeah.
I'm practicing.
There we go.
I've been trying to, I don't like mispronouncing things. My maiden name was a name that no one could pronounce at all, and
Nice.
I'm very sensitive about trying to pronounce things correctly, so, definitely forgive me for
Yeah, see, mine is easy.
Yeah.
One syllable, one syllable.
You're from Boston?
Worcester, Mass.
Oh.
Worcester. No, not really. From a little town outside of Springfield, which is sort of at the other end of Massachusetts, at the non-exciting end of Massachusetts, where all the mountains are.
Mountains are nice.
Yeah, mountains, lakes.
Exciting. We have mountains in Roanoke.
Okay.
They're
okay.
nice.
What else do you have in Roanoke?
Star City Games.
Oh, cool.
And lots of cool people that live there.
Nice, nice.
We've got a Walmart and a Target.
It's like a magic community down there.
Yeah, it's sort of like a nerd colony.
Right. You guys should get a seat on some sort of political council down there. Like
Oh, that would be
the
awesome.
nerd representative. Like the game advisor to the mayor. That would be nice.
No, it is pretty nice though at the office. Like you don't hear about American Idol or anything like that. You hear about Diablo 3.
Yeah.
And you hear about
World of Warcraft
Game of
and-
Thrones.
right. Oh wow, both players on 5 cards now.
Wowee.
So I think this is really going to favor Thomas Smiley. Just because Greg Giard just has to put so many pieces together to make his deck work.
Yeah.
He needs artifacts for his metalworker, he needs 2 mana lands to cast his spells.
And, all Thomas needs is 2 lands, a Noble Hierarch, a Knight of the Reliquary, and a Spell Pierce. And I think he's pretty good.
Yeah, and then he just wins the game. But really, all he needs is like 2 mana for this deck.
Excuse me.
And even if he's on 1 mana, he can do things like Sword, Spell Pierce, Daze, Force of Will, Brainstorm. Whereas if Greg's on 1 mana, he can cast
Chalice of the Void.
Chalice for 0. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You can cast Mox Opal.
Yeah, I guess Mox
And-
Opal. And that's it. Can't quite cast the Steel Hellkite yet. Still on my 1 land here. It's always a shame when both players have to mulligan down really far because
Yeah.
you never know what kind of game you're going to get. Sometimes it's a really good game, but usually one player just runs away with it.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll get a good game. That's my favorite part about Legacy is getting good games.
Oh yeah, we've had some awesome ones today.
Yeah.
We had in round 5 we had a Reanimator Mirror, which was it was crazy. All the games lasted so long. Well, 2 of the games lasted so long. Both players were just playing draw go. One player was about to discard because he has 8 basically useless cards in hand.
Wow.
And it seemed like Reed Duke was going to have to hardcast his Gristlebrand, but he managed to win before that.
Wowee.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what 5 cards has to offer our fine players. It's like Greg has 2 lands, Trinisphere. Didn't make out that last card, and I think it's Wormcoil Engine.
Ooh, yeah, that looks like it. Oh, there's a Chalice.
Chalice.
And that's going to blank that Swords in Thomas's
1.
hand. Not much he can do about it right now.
Did not have the Spell Pierce for that.
Nope. Just lays a land, says go,
Ooh, Wasteland.
and uses it for mana. Oh, Trinisphere. Wow, so Greg Giard putting his lock pieces together, trying to prevent Thomas Smiley from playing any spells at all. Let's see what he has here. I see a Jace in his hand. I think he has a Knight of the Reliquary too, which will probably come out now,
Yes. Most definitely.
as it usually does. Now, if Greg Giard can just draw something as simple as a Grim Monolith here, he's going to be able to play Wormcoil Engine and probably lock this game
Thomas will
off.
be in a world of hurt.
Right. All the Path to Exiles will be dead. All the Swords to Plowshares will be dead. Brainstorms, no good. Noble Hierarchs, no good.
So it could be life or death for Thomas Smiley. Oh, you guys know you love my puns. Come on
It's
now.
probably the kind of joke you get at the Star City Game Center all the time.
Yes, most definitely.
So Knight of the Reliquary is a 3/3. 1 land in the graveyard.
There's a Grim
Ooh,
Monolith.
There it is.
Ow.
And Greg Giard's still not wastelanding Thomas because he knows that he needs all 6 of his mana here. Oh, maybe not.
Oh, he forgot to
pay
pay
3.
extra for Trinisphere.
There we go. Trinisphere does affect both players, not just your opponent. Our helpful table judge points that out.
Thomas is looking at his hand, probably extremely concerned for what's about to show up on his opponent's next turn.
Yeah, his opponent has 6 mana available. He knows it could be anything from a Kaldaka Forge Master to a Steel Hellkite to a Duplicate.
It could even be a boat.
Oh my god, it could.
So Thomas is gonna search out probably a wasteland here.
Yep, he's either looking for a wasteland or he's looking for another land to get Jace on the table. Oh wait, no, that is 4.
Yeah.
Yep, wasteland, you're
He
right.
goes for the wastelands.
Yep.
He's like, I'm not gonna let this guy get up to 6 mana. No way, no how.
And now, if Greg Giard just drew a Phyrexian Revoker this game, he'd be in much better shape. He could have named that Knight.
Yep.
So this is going to be a monster turn for him. Waste that, play Jace.
Oh,
Wow. Better than all.
so Greg was probably feeling pretty confident. He might be feeling less than at this point, but I mean, any of his, he can draw Ancient Tomb or City of Traders
Yeah.
to get that Wormcoil Engine out. Of course, Jace can just bounce it.
Right. And then the Grim Monolith is tapped. Wow, he's just using that +2 ability there.
You know, honestly, I don't blame him. I think right now he probably wants to control Gregory's draws and make sure he doesn't get the cards he needs.
Right. Mox Opal will cost 3 mana. Yep, back in the hand. That doesn't work.
Nope.
And now Greg Giard is in a lot of trouble.
Ooh,
here.
that Trinisphere is coming back to bite him.
Yeah. His opening seemed really good, but Knight of the Reliquary is just so good.
Such a good card.
Yeah. Oh, and there's another one.
Ooh.
This game is ending pretty quickly for Greg
Kinda-
Giard here.
Looked like there was a sword in Thomas's hand, but I could be wrong. I saw the art really quickly. There comes the other knight.
Another Knight. And that's an attack.
Yep.
Looks like he doesn't want to trade 2 lands for 1 right now. And we'll see what he does with Jace.
Yep. Another Fate Seal.
On top.
You know, and another thing too, I think why he would want a Fate Seal here is he wants to get Jace up as quickly as possible. Oh, there's a concession. Thomas Smiley takes it down with
2-0.
his really neat Bant deck.